Ihsan, what's the latest at this hour after the naming of Mojtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader there?
Well, simultaneous with the announcement of the election of the third leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran by the Assembly of Experts, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, announced that it launched the 30th wave of its operation True Promise 4. Sources close to the IRGC say this attack has been the heaviest missile strike by Iran against Israel since the first day of the war between Iran with Israel and the United States. Mahia.
Right, and do tell us more about what the reaction has been to his naming as the new supreme leader there.
Well, it was after midnight in Tehran when the state television announced the Assembly of Experts' final decision. We saw that within minutes, gatherings emerged in cities across the country attended by pro-government Iranians. And as the public awaits his first public address, it remains unclear whether he will appear publicly, considering the fact that we have very, very high risk circumstances. Under the Constitution, the supreme leader holds the official title of the guardianship of the Islamic jurist, and obedience to him is both politically and religiously obligatory, referred to in religious terms as bay'at. This is why all major political, military, and religious figures in Iran have already congratulated Mr. Mojtaba Khamenei and presented their bay'at. Mahia.
Right, and Ihsan, looking at timeframes here, obviously the naming happened early on Monday, but looking ahead, what exactly happens next?
Well, according to the Islamic Republic of Iran's constitution, the supreme leader serves as the commander-in-chief and holds the highest authority over the entire political system. This is why the election of Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei has been so important to the country. From now on, the new supreme leader is the only individual in Iran who is authorized to either sustain the war or maybe pursue a kind of de-escalation. Back to you.
Right, and finally, Ihsan, there is of course that threat from Israel that any new supreme leader would be targeted. How has this threat been taken there in Iran?
Very seriously, in fact. It is believed here that the delay in electing the leader was also due to security concerns. So is the consideration for his first public appearance. He is definitely being taken care of with maximum security measures, but eventually Iranian population and nation expect him to have his first public speech as soon as possible, as soon as the situation is proper.
All right, Ihsan, thank you very much for speaking to us on Africa Live. Ihsan Keivani there in Yazid, Iran. So Iran has a new supreme leader, but who exactly is Mojtaba Khamenei? CGTN's David Mbithi tells us more.
The Islamic Republic of Iran named Mojtaba Khamenei to succeed his slain father as supreme leader early Monday. The Assembly of Experts, which is tasked with appointing the country's top political and religious authority, said in a statement that the 56-year-old was elected in what they called a decisive vote of the respected representatives of the Assembly. Following the announcement, Iran's IRGC immediately pledged allegiance to the new supreme leader, voicing its readiness to follow his instructions. Mojtaba Khamenei was born in 1969 in the northeastern city of Mashhad. He moved with his family to the capital Tehran after the victory of the Islamic Revolution in 1979. After graduating from high school, he joined the IRGC and served towards the end of the Iran-Iraq War. In 1999, Mojtaba Khamenei went to Qom, a holy city regarded as a major center of Shia theology for advanced religious studies, gradually emerging as a key political aide to his father. He has largely maintained a low public profile and has never held any official government position, nor has he delivered public speeches or given interviews. Only a limited number of photographs and videos of him have been released. Still, he is said to have maintained working contact with many senior officials across successive governments, as well as close ties with numerous military commanders. David Mbidi, CGTN.
Right, let's get more on that story now. From Washington, D.C., we have Nick Harper standing by. Nick, thank you for your time. What's the immediate reaction from the Trump administration to the naming of the new Iranian supreme leader, given that it comes after Trump had demanded a say in the choice there?
Well, exactly, and we're seeing displeasure here in Washington this Monday over the decision to announce that Mojtaba Khamenei is going to be taking over as the new supreme leader. And there is a real fear, I think, around the world, after comments from the US administration, that if the person selected was not to the US's liking, that person would essentially have a target on their back. Donald Trump, in comments on Sunday, said that the new supreme leader is not going to last long without approval from the United States. He made it very clear last week that he wanted to be part of that selection process, likening it to how the United States had had a say in the new leader in Venezuela after the US went into Venezuela with military action at the beginning of January and seized the then president, Nicolas Maduro. Donald Trump, also in comments over the last few days, has referred to Mojtaba as a lightweight, saying that he is unacceptable, saying that the United States wanted someone who will bring harmony and peace to Iran, and making it very clear they did not feel that Mojtaba Khamenei was the person to be able to lead the country. The United States wanted to have someone that they believed they were going to be able to work with. So, as a result, we're seeing displeasure, and in comments in the last hour, Donald Trump has said that he is not happy with the selection. He is due to give a press conference in about 4 hours' time from now, and we will likely have more comments from the US leader, exactly what he thinks of the decision to appoint this new Ayatollah.
Right, and Nick, do tell us more about what's being said there in Washington about how this development may impact the ongoing conflict.
Well, really, I think there is concern that it will only lengthen the conflict. There had been some hope that if the person who was chosen to run Iran had the backing of the United States, then the two countries might begin to move towards diplomacy and a move away from military action. But as Iran has chosen someone that is clearly not to the liking of the Trump administration, really the only possible path forward seems to be continued strikes and counter-strikes. Democrats on Capitol Hill are pointing out that we're now into day 10 and there is clearly no end in sight. Even a week ago, Donald Trump was saying that this could be a 4 to 5 week conflict, that it could potentially run even longer as well. And in the back of everybody's minds is the potential of US boots on the ground. It is something that President Trump has warned that he might decide to do at some point. In an interview earlier on Monday, said he was still nowhere near making that decision, but it is something that he is still considering. And if that happens, that would only elongate the conflict even further.
Right. We are hearing reports saying Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner may be traveling to Israel to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. What are we expecting from this meeting?
Well, I guess there's two ways of thinking about it. This could be an opportunity for the two countries who are carrying out strikes against Iran to get in the same room together, to work out some strategy, to work out where things go next. The other way of thinking it is they could be looking for a diplomatic path forward and working out how jointly, in consultation with each other, they can move this into a situation where they can draw Iran to the negotiating table. It is unclear exactly which strategy the US is choosing, but all the moves so far and all of the comments from the US president seem to suggest that military action is the course it has decided upon, and a course that it is happy to stay with for the time being. There are some security perspectives as well that need to be taken into consideration. The fact that these people are travelling to Israel, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff getting on a plane and heading to Israel, which has obviously come under bombardment from Iran, that is a calculation and perhaps has been part of the reason why that trip has not happened during the course of the last week. But it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that, whether they are together working on a diplomatic strategy or rather working on a military strategy. And at this stage, it seems to be the latter of the two that Israel and the United States are both very much pushing for.
All right, Nick, thank you very much for speaking to us on Africa Live. Nick Harper there in Washington, D.C. Well, let's now bring in Mohamed Higazy, who is the former Assistant Foreign Minister of Egypt. He joins us live this hour from Cairo. Thank you for joining us. What's your take on the significance of the choice of Mojtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader in Iran at this stage in the conflict?
Well, I think it is very important to the Iranian people to feel during the course of war the sense of stability that an early election is happening, and it happened fast enough for the circumstances Iran is facing. The most important is that continuity and stability and an institutional build-up that have created its own choices, like there is an equilibrium between the three authorities, the Revolutionary Guard, the clerical, and the security apparatus. And I think the early choice is another sign that this is a country of an institution, not individual. However, individuals are very important in such ideological theological regimes, and I'm sure that this sense of stability and continuity was very important to the Iranian people at this moment.
Right, and do talk to us about how this is likely to affect the trajectory of the ongoing conflict.
I don't believe that it will change immediately the course of war. It might show strength at the beginning, to gather unity and to regain back stability. And after that, maybe the trajectory can be changed and another mindset will help the situation out. Depends also on what is on the table for Iran.
Right, and now that he has been chosen, what are Mojtaba Khamenei's immediate choices, both in terms of leading the war effort and dealing with the problems inside Iran right now?
I think three dimensions or three aims he should look at. One is the internal stability and continuation. Second, continuing the war till an alternative will be put on the table. Third is to confront the economic hardships and the internal dissatisfaction that exists in Iran for quite some time now.
Right, and finally, Israel did issue threats, as we've been reporting before, about targeting any newly named supreme leader in Iran. How would this action be seen by the Iranian public and Iran's allies?
I think they should be refrained. This is a very dangerous moment in the history of the Middle East. Enough what they have built, everybody, including the United States, in, and going into more assassination will help nobody. It is only through negotiating table that everything can be addressed. Assassination will add more fire to the existing fire. So I think they have to be rationalized either by the American or by the world community.
All right. Thank you very much for your time here. Mohamed Higazy, former Egyptian Assistant Foreign Minister, speaking to us live there from Cairo. Meanwhile, Iranians poured into the streets to celebrate the selection of Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new supreme leader. Mojtaba succeeds his father Ali Ayatollah Khamenei a week after he was killed in a US-Israeli strike.
This was one of the best decisions made after the revolution. It is a source of pride for all Muslims and all Iranians. We came here to pledge allegiance to our new leader, Ayatollah Sayyid Mojtaba Khamenei, and we are proud to be under his leadership. This war will end with the victory of Islam and Muslims under his leadership.
First of all, I congratulate our new leader. The people of Iran are very insightful. Just as we stood behind our martyred leader until now and followed his commands, from now on we will also follow the directives of our new leader, Sayyid Mojtaba Khamenei. We assure him that we pledge our allegiance to him from the bottom of our hearts. I'm certain that we will be victorious in this war. We trust his leadership, and the Assembly of Experts has undoubtedly made the best choice. This decision has brought peace to our grieving hearts.
We came here to pledge allegiance to the new leader. We are very happy about this choice. I am truly happy from the bottom of my heart. We hope this path continues and that the cause of the leadership goes on, and that the blood of our martyred leader will also be avenged. I can say that the United States and Israel are nothing in the face of our new leader.
Just a few days ago, we were here mourning our leader. We were all in disbelief. Even now we are still amazed. But it feels as if the blood of our previous leader has come back to life. With greater energy and motivation, we will continue his path and we will all pledge allegiance to him. I think the whole world is now astonished by this choice, and it will be a strong blow to the Zionists and to global arrogance.